Thank you for joining us. After your first two league games, you have this mini break period. How do you reflect on the opening weeks of the campaign?
Yeah, Dale, it's been interesting, obviously, with the kind of false start with the League Cup. Great to get the league game started with St Johnstone here at Victoria Park, and also to have fans in the stadium. I thought, as I say, we held ourselves well during the game. A very small squad that day, and I think against a team who had a full squad from last season, St Johnstone, really happy with the actual performance and the way the boys played. We then go to Easter Road knowing that we're going to go and play third top team in the country last year, knowing the toughness of the game it's going to be, then coming off the back of a good result against the Croatian team. And it was always going to be difficult, but I thought we started well. Again, beautiful pitch and fans in the stadium against a good team. We started well, and for the first 15-20 minutes gave a good account of ourselves. I think we were unfortunate with the deflection. I think that disappointed the players for 10 minutes or so, where we lost another 2 goals. We've spoken about that in terms of this week and how that approach has got to change. We got to half time, and I think second half, delighted that they actually came out really on the front foot. 3-0 at half time. One of the other games was 3-0 and went to 6 on Saturday, and delighted in terms of the fact that the application that they gave and the mentality of the second half to go and actually play and really express themselves and actually be brave on the ball, and have them out of possession in the second half. We did. We've got to learn from that. So yeah, it's a learning experience for the players, and we're still finding our feet in terms of the squad.
With no League Cup game this weekend, you've got this 2-week period to work with the squad. Give us an idea of what you've been working towards this week on the training pitch.
Sure. Well, initially what we did was we did the debrief for the Hibs game. So that entails we take them in, and we show them clips, show them the goals, get them to talk through them themselves. Debriefs are a learning experience. They're not about finger pointing. They're about making sure that we try and not make those mistakes again. Invariably there's 3 or 4 people that could have done something different in the lead up to a chance or a goal, and we showed that and showed where people could have done something different to stop the move happening. So it's the players getting used to the style and the way that I want to do debriefs, and to learn from the things that they could do better, but also from the things they did well, because we showed them various parts of the game plan that they completed and they did well in. The areas that they got to expose Hibs to give them belief going forward. So that's a new experience for them, and it's something that we'll be doing for every game the whole year. And hopefully, as I say, it becomes very much the case that there's constructive criticism coming from the players to the players, and we're just facilitating that. So it's a real learning environment. As the week went on, obviously we've got it structured the next 2 weeks before the Rangers game, so we structured it in terms of making sure then that we had 4 days of really tough training. This gives us a little mini break in terms of, because we're out of the League Cup, the chance to actually put a little mini pre-season into them and gain from the time lost that we had during the close down because of COVID. So we've had double sessions the last 3 days, and we'll have a morning session, then we'll give a couple of days off to them, and it really is to get that fitness back into the legs that you can do, because there is no game for 2 weeks. So that they've applied themselves really well over the last few days, and I'm delighted with the way that they've gone about their business. We have to be robust, we have to be strong, we have to be powerful if we're going to actually go through this whole league season, and apply ourselves the way I want us to play. So it was good to see the way they worked this week.
How important will it be to also use this period just now to integrate the new players that you've brought into the club? You've now brought 9 in since your arrival.
Yeah, very much so. And every week goes by gives them a chance to actually get to know each other a little bit better. Again, there was another 3 or 4 come in the last 10 days or so. So they're now finding their feet. They're settling into their housing. They're finding their way about the city. They're getting to know the area. They're getting to know life, basically, and it's things that I suppose sometimes people don't see. That first week or 2 into a new environment, a new city, having to go and make sure that you find curtains and you actually find a kettle, and the little things, and it's something that we've got to make sure we're all over in terms of making sure we help them as much as possible, because again, they're coming from far and wide into a new environment, and we've got to settle down into life in Inverness and Dingwall. So it is important. It's important to look after players that commit to us, and it's something that I'm delighted about in terms of the staff. The whole staff at the football club have been fantastic in terms of the welcome that they've shown to the players, not only coming in the door, but then the next 3 or 4 weeks, just to make sure that the guys actually are all kind of settled and happy, and they actually get into the way of life here. It is important, and it's something that we've got to keep working at. We've got more coming in, hopefully, in the next couple of weeks. And by the time the window closes, you then hope to have a squad then that can be robust right up until Christmas time.
How do you look at the opening 5 fixtures that you've got this season? It couldn't be tougher, the top 5 teams from last season.
Yeah, I mean, it's something a few people have texted me when the fixtures come out, how tough our first 5 games we've got. But do you know what? We've got to play everyone, and there will be a respect for every manager that I play against. There will be a respect for every team we play against, and we will go about our business in terms of looking at them and making sure that we give everyone the exact same sort of coverage in terms of opposition analysis, in terms of game plans, in terms of how we're going to play, how we're going to be played against, and the threats that they pose. So it's a tough start, and you add to that the fact of the huge turnover in terms of staff and us settling in, but it's something that everyone's going to deal with, and we'll deal with it the way we can.
You touched on it just earlier, the recruitment side of it. Do you still feel this is an area of a work in progress?
It's a huge work in progress. It's something that I'm delighted that Mr McGregor and Stephen Ferguson bought into the fact that we need a recruitment department. They've been fortunate enough to bring in India Barron, who's going to be our head of data analysis, and he's someone that the culmination of everything in terms of talent identification, in terms of recruitment, in terms of scouting, filters into Enda and then goes into a database, and there's a structure and a process to what it is we're doing. And I did say that the first window is going to be bumpy in terms of players in, players out, but what we hope over a longer period of time is that there's a distinct strategy in terms of players that have been brought to the football club over a period of different windows, and we can start to look windows ahead. And have players signed up that we want to have signed up, and to have players targeted that we can 6, 9, 12 months before we actually go and approach, so that you are in a position where there's as I say, a tactical strategy towards your recruitment process, and it's not knee-jerk and it's not agent-driven. You work with them, you work with clubs, but it's club-driven, and there's a regular meeting and a regular forum between myself and our staff, and then myself and the chief exec and the owner, as to why we want to do something and why we need to do things. So I've been delighted at the way that Enda's been embraced and settled into the job, and as I say, it's bumpy at the moment in terms of players coming and going, but that will settle down.
Finally, Malky, the next game is here in Dingwall, right behind you. It's Rangers, last season's champions, a prospect that has to be relished by everyone, whether you're a player, fan, manager, or anyone that's going to be in the stadium that day.
Absolutely delighted that it's going to be a full house. I would imagine the champions are coming, a top team, terrific manager, and a team that were worthy winners last year. So we're going to have to be on our guard and be in our best form in terms of actually playing against them. We know how tough it's going to be, but we've got to make sure that it becomes a tough place to play against. When teams come and play Ross County and Dingwall, it's a tough place to come and earn your 3 points, and we'll try and make sure that happens.
Malky, thank you for your time.
Thanks, Dale.